Hi, right, tonight we have a ds4 for rear brakes to be replaced, rear discs and pads. It has got an electric handbrake, however the handbrake motors aren't on the actual calipers, they're inside the vehicle. So we'll start by jacking it up and stripping off the wheels, and then we'll go from there. So we've got it jacked up, now we'll take the wheels off, just got to undo these 4 bolts. And now we can access the rear brakes. We're going to need to undo these bolts here, and these ones here and here. And we need to take this cap off, and behind here there is a large nut to undo. So one of the most important aspects is you need to make sure the handbrake is actually turned off. So switch the handbrake off inside the vehicle, make sure you can spin this, and then you need to get a thin 15mm spanner, and then you can use a 13mm ratchet spanner to undo these ones. So you just use on the top and the bottom and get those undone. Once you've undone both these bolts, like so, you just need to get something to give it a little bit of persuasion to get it out. And that's that, put that to one side. Brake pads themselves can be quite stuck in, so you might need to tap those out with a hammer and a chisel. So the next step is to undo these bolts here. They're Torx 50 and they're extremely tight, so you need decent torques, and you need to make sure that you've put it in there properly, otherwise it will just round off. I'm using a breaker bar because that's how tight they are. Once you've cracked them, you can normally carry on with a ratchet, or if you're feeling brave, stick an impact gun in there. So I'll now spin those off and then we'll carry on. So now we'll move the 2 bolts that are holding that in, and this piece literally just pulls out once they've been removed. So I'll put them to one side with the bolts. That's for the disc to come off. I've already tapped this piece down slightly with a really fine screwdriver. Be careful, try not to damage it too much in case your new discs haven't come with a new cap. Some do, some don't. And then you just want to prise that out. Then you want to knock this down and undo this nut. Right, so I've just used a standard punch, which is this one here, and just poked it in there and knocked it down. You're going to need to undo the 36mm nut. So the 36mm socket. And then this, when you can get 2 hands on it, should just pull off. You may need a bit of persuasion. And then that's it, that's your brake disc off. If your vehicle's got ABS, always make sure it's got a new ring on the back of the new disc. Oh, it's got a new brake disc, and the new one has come with a new ABS pickup ring. So we'll take that and we can slide that onto there, like so. And then you should really replace the nut as well, and then stick the nut on, do it up to the correct torque, and then knock the safety part in to stop it coming undone, so we'll now do that. So I've got the pad carrier here, and you want to make sure these faces here are fairly clean. I've cleaned these ones up. Some brake pads come with new ones of these, so you can just replace them, but these are aftermarket ones and they haven't come with any, so we'll have to reuse the old ones. So we'll clean the other side up and then we'll refit. Right, so we're going to need to wind the piston back on the caliper. You'll need one of these devices, which is a piston wind back tool that fits onto the piston itself for these two grooves here. And you literally, you turn the handle and wind it back in. I always put some lubrication on the rubber because otherwise they sometimes twist themselves in. So I'll do that now. It is a sort of job you need two hands for, so I'll turn the camera off so I've got a hand free. So that's the piston wound all the way back. It's a tool like this, so you see these two dimples here fit into the holes there. Now we need to fit the brake pads. So the brake pads there. Recommend putting some copper slip just on the faces, a touch on here. Don't need to smother them in the grease. And then you just refit the caliper. You see these springs, you need to make sure that they don't go through the whole of the caliper. They should rest on here and on here. Many a time you'll see these and the springs will be poking through the hole, and that's not how it should be. So we'll get this caliper refitted. Now refitted the caliper. You can see the springs where they should be resting. The easiest way to do it is to fit the top and then swing it down and push the bottom bolt in. Otherwise you're fighting against both the springs and it just pushes the caliper off. So we'll now do the other side. And I'll show you what to do once we've done both sides. Alright, so now I've done the driver's side as well. So now both sides are done and back together. Before you decide to do anything else, you need to make sure you press the brake pedal, pump it up until it goes hard, just to push those pistons back out that you've wound in earlier. And then apply the handbrake. And then that's it done. I'll obviously put the wheels back on and torque them back up to how they're supposed to be torqued to. And then carry out a small road test just to make sure they're okay, and drive carefully to bed the brakes in. And then that is it. Thanks for watching the video, and subscribe and like and share.